You gotta burn your boats. You have to burn your boats. If there is something that you want to achieve, I repeat, you have to burn your boats. Soul Dancer, the White Dragon here. You have to go all in. Ladies in particular, however, this includes men as well. You gentle birds. You have to burn your boats in order to get to where you want to go. There is no other way, and there is no other choice. I only discovered recently that that is what I have always done. From when I worked here in my 20s in Trinidad and Tobago. After 7 years with this particular company, it was brand new. I realized that this place was too small, and I gave in my notice. I didn't have a job anywhere. However, I decided I was leaving the country. I contacted every single United Nations organization in the English-speaking world in the book. The book was, what, 3 or 4 inches. I sent job applications to every single one. There was hundreds, huh? 7 replied, and I remember 2 were from Belgium, and 2 other European countries. However, I got a job offer from the International Meteorological Organization in London. So they told me to come in when I got there. My CV was already quite impressive. I didn't go there. I packed up. I left my house behind. I left my dog with my youngest brother, and I left 6 months mortgage payments in my account to tide me over while I found a job and a new home, etc. And in fact, I went to New York instead, because by then I had traveled a lot. I'd been to China, India, and all those other places. But we really didn't care much for the USA and the US policies, and we meaning the general thinking, the general intelligent public. So they aren't general at all. So I always bypass New York. However, this was the time for New York. So I went, and I went to the UN. My only friend at the time, I'm saying this for a reason, my only friend at the time, who is 20 years older than I am, she told me to go to the UN, so I did. I was staying with cousins in Brooklyn. I applied. I went through all of the exams, and then I started getting so many job applications, so many job offers, that my cousin became jealous. Leaving that alone, because that was her problem, I was there working it. I chose the job that paid the most money. That was fine. All that was with the UNDP. The UNICEF director saw my CV and she wanted me, but she said that they couldn't pay me. So I chose the highest paid. Take note that when I left, I just left everything behind. And I assumed, I knew that I would have enough money to pay my mortgage and everything else, but covering my butt, I left 6 months mortgage in my account for my sister to pay my mortgage, because she was living there now. And my dog was with my brother. After 4 years there, I left, because I said, okay, I've had enough of New York. I left. I applied for jobs in Australia. I was offered a job, work permit, and housing in Sydney. But everything came through except the work permit, and I had to wait. However, I had given myself a deadline. I wanted to leave by the 1st of May. So I sent them an email at the time saying, this is my deadline. If you all don't come up with it, I'm gone. They didn't come up with it. I left. I went to Switzerland. Now, my sister by then had followed me to New York. So now, this is a burning the boat story. So now I'm in Switzerland. My flight was late, so I lost my hotel. And at the time it was the car show, so hotels were packed, booked out. And they only keep your reservation for a certain time. Okay. Everything worked out after a few hours. I was connected with a wonderful Togolese woman who became a friend. And she told me, well, listen, that woman was so qualified. She had so many degrees, it was crazy. But she couldn't get a job. So she told me, come with her. I'm going to apply for a job at the World Health Organization, WHO. So I did. I went. I wasn't interested because one of my old bosses was the boss of another UN organization there. So I knew I could get a job anytime I wanted. But also, I hadn't had a vacation in 4 years. So I wasn't interested, but I said, okay, I'll come with you. We applied. She insisted. As we were going into the lift, I heard running feet and someone calling my name. It was the head of recruitment. What do they call recruitment now? I forget. Irrelevant. With one leg in the elevator, she offered me a job right there. My friend did not get a job, but I returned the favor. What happened was, as soon as I was settled in, I gave her all the cash that I had, and I sent her to New York. And I gave her the names of the people to contact in UNICEF and UNDP. She got a job. It was winter by then, but she got a job. I gave her all my money, all the US dollars that I had, because she didn't have any. And I gave her a winter coat and instructions, etc., on where to go, where to stay, etc. She got a job because she was so qualified. She spoke so many languages. She had so many degrees. And nobody in Switzerland would give the woman a job because her English wasn't that great. She found her niche and I found mine. So I'm going to stop there. The point I am making here is that I left, and I left everything behind. I had no idea what was going to happen, but I was determined. I decided that this is where I wanted to go, and this is where I am going. I am not taking advice from anybody. I am not asking anybody. I am just telling everybody this is where I'm going. And this, beautiful souls, ladies in particular, you have to burn those fucking boats and say fuck it and just move on. It doesn't matter what is happening now. If you have a goal in mind, if there is something that you want to do, if there's a particular place where you want to live, you have to let go of everything else and everybody else and move your butts. That is the only way. That is the only way that you will ever get what you want. Ciao.